for the Shuckers this season.
Now, you talk about the 10 home runs, 6 to left field, 4 to right field. And just remember that home run in the opening 3-game series in Pensacola, which was a go-ahead home run in the 8th or 9th inning. He went the opposite way, and that ball just kept carrying. You're right. He's got some power the opposite way. And that's what makes him a dangerous hitter. As the Shuckers take the field in their home white uniforms, the Trash Pandas in their road grays. Nick Bennett will get the ball as he'll pitch against the Trash Pandas' top 3 men in the top of the first inning. National Anthem first. First pitch on the sun, the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
From MGM Park in Biloxi, Mississippi, it is game number 1 in a 6-game set between the Biloxi Shuckers and the Rocket City Trash Pandas. A very pleasant good evening, everybody, alongside Thomas Zinzarella. Garrett Green with you here. Shuckers come into tonight 51-49 on the year. They're 17-16 in the Southern League second half. 3 games back of the Montgomery Biscuits. As for the Rocket City Trash Pandas, 58-54 on the year. They are also 17-16, and that puts them 1 game back of the Tennessee Smokies. One more time, here is the starting lineup for Rocket City today. Leading off is the shortstop, Levon Soto. Logan Ohapi, the catcher, follows him, and Preston Palmero is at first. He'll hit third today. Sonny DeShara is the designated hitter. He's also the cleanup man. Jeremiah Jackson at second. Torrey Hunter Jr. out on left, and Kevin Maitan is the third baseman. Bryce Teodosio is the center fielder, and Jordan Adams rounds it all out in right field. They go opposite the left-hander Nick Bennett, 6-8 this year with a .467 earned run average. And the Rocket City Trash Pandas are led by manager Andy Schultze. Shuckers in their home white jerseys today, Rocket City in their road grays. The southpaw Nick Bennett here's into Soto, and the first offer is a slider that plunks him on the inside hip, and that is how things get going. And actually, that might have been a cutter from Nick, but it is a first pitch hit by pitch as we're off and running at 6:36 here in Biloxi. Certainly not the way that Nick would have liked it to start things tonight. And Soto is in some obvious pain as he was hit by a cutter on his leading right hip. And we saw this out of Nick a couple of starts ago where he tried to throw inside to somebody and he plunked them with the first pitch. So just a little too tight on the left-handed hitter. Man on, and it brings up the catcher, Logan Ohapi. Stands in from the right side, and Bennett, now having to operate out of the stretch, deals home the first. And it's a little high and wide with the fastball. It's 1-0 to the catcher. Bennett, the 6'3", 202-pound left-hander, looks to first and deals the 1-0. And that's right in there with a cutter for a strike. Now the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to the catcher, O'Hoppe. Bennett, a 6th-round pick in 2019 out of the University of Louisville by the Milwaukee Brewers, 24 years old. There goes the runner, and O'Hoppe spoils the jump with a tapper foul up the first base line, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes to the catcher, O'Hoppe. A Bennett scouting report on him. He throws a fastball, a slider, a changeup, and he has mixed in a cutter this season that he has used to extreme success this year. Peeks back to the runner at first, and now the 1-2. And O'Hoppe takes at the knees for a called third strike. Bennett drops in a slider, and he gets a strike out of O'Hoppe, 1 gone, and Preston Palmero, the batter.
Well, let's meet the Biloxi Shuckers defense tonight. Start on the outfield left to right. Tristan Letts, Corey Ray, and Garrett Whitley. On the infield, Canavini is at the hot corner at third. Andrew Monasterio, Felix Valerio up the middle. Thomas Dillon manning first base, and Brent Diaz is doing the catching for Nick Bennett.
So lefty-lefty matchup as Palmero digs in, and Bennett will throw over to first, and back in standing up is Soto. Soto this season on the bases, 11 steals in 16 attempts. On after he was hit by a pitch. Bennett deals, there goes the runner, and it is yet again fouled off. It goes down the tunnel on the first base side where the Shuckers are housed. It is 0-1 to Palmero. Well, it is a absolutely gorgeous night for baseball here in Biloxi. 83 degrees at first pitch, mostly clear. It feels like it is 89 outside. All right, Thomas, it's time to play. What do you think the humidity is today?
I'll go 70% again.
He says 70. 0-1 fouled in and out of Diaz's mitt. It is 0-2. I am going to go with 82 today, just to go a little bit higher. Survey says 72. So Thomas takes the point tonight. But a great day. It was overcast for a good chunk of the day today, but then just kind of spit on us a little bit. Tarp came off the field very early today and did not go back on. As a pickoff throw, and Dillard has to stretch to his left to corral it and keep it from getting away. That is something that Bennett has continued to work on this season. And really, that pickoff throw that he made over to Soto, that's about the first whip pickoff throw that we've seen. It has normally been just a lob. As the next offer is inside with a slider, Palmero throws his hips out of the way. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to the first baseman. Abundant sunshine, and that is going to be the test when we move to the bottom of the first inning. And Torrey Hunter Jr. is going to be the one who's going to be put up against it. Bright sun out and left. 1-2 when a whiff and barely tipped into the mid of Diaz for a strikeout. And Palmero was down swinging on a slider. So 2 strikeouts for Bennett. And it brings up the right-handed hitting DH, Sonny DeShera, out of Auburn University. Drafted this year by the Angels and assigned straight to Double-A.
Well, that's good to see. Nick Bennett slider already whip it in, getting 2 strikeouts. So that's going to be his go-to pitch.
Left-hander deals in the first, and it's a little outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes to DeShera. Man on first is Soto after he was hit by the very first pitch of the game. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bennett has given us 2 outs. Southpaw stares to first, now strides home with the 1-0, and he whips in a slider for a strike. And the count is 1-1 to the designated hitter. Let's meet our umpiring crew tonight. Calling balls and strikes is our crew chief, Mark Bass. Dylan Bradley is a third, and Josh Gilreath, our first base umpire. Bennett, the 1-1. And another slider in there for a strike. And the count is 1-2 to DeShera. Bennett looking to work around the hit by pitch to start things off. DeShera 7 for his first 21 in 7 games with the Trash Pandas. No score here in the first, and Bennett comes down with a 1-2. And a check swing on an inside slider, just held up. The count draws even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeShera a double, a home run, and 4 RBIs. Taken in the 5th round of this year's draft by the Angels. Chokes up slightly on the bat from the right side, and Bennett the 2-2. And a check swing on a back foot slider, and he holds off. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to DeShera. Well, that has been the MO for the right-hander through his college career. This season with Auburn, he hit .384 and drew 68 walks. Him and Thomas Dillard competing against each other this week is going to be a lot of fun. Lob throw over to first, and a check there. Of course, Dillard setting the single-season record for walks for Ole Miss whenever he was there in the Southeastern Conference. 3-2. And a check swing on an inside pitch called third strike. A slider. And Mark Bass examined and then rings up Teixeira. And so Bennett hits the first batter and strikes out the side. We head on to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Trash Pandas nothing. And the Shuckers coming to bat next on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Home half of the first inning, the Trash Pandas don't score a run, so here is the lineup Mike Guerrero has put together tonight that will look to strike first for the Shuckers. Leading off is the center fielder Corey Ray. Andrew Monasterio follows him at short, and Garrett Whitley in right field bats third. The cleanup man, the left fielder Tristan Lutz. Cam Devaney at third. Thomas Dillard, the switch-hitting first baseman, bats sixth. In the seventh spot, Felix Valerio, he's at second. The designated hitter Gabe Holt bats eighth, and rounding it all out is the catcher, Brent Diaz. They go opposite the right-hander, Coleman Crow, who stares into the left-handed hitting Ray and deals the first, and Corey hits it in the air into right field, but playable for Adams, who comes on, and as the wind knocks it down slightly in right field, makes the catch for the out. There's one gone on one pitch.
Now let's meet the Trash Pandas defense tonight. Starting on the outfield left to right, Torrey Hunter Jr., Bryce Teodosio, and Jordan Adams, who just made that grab. On the infield, Kevin Maitan's at third base, Levon Soto and Jeremiah Jackson up the middle, Preston Palmero manning first base, and Logan O'Hoppe doing the catching.
First off, we're on the way to Monasterio, and a fastball whipped in for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, Crow, the 5'10", 175-pound right-hander, kicks home the 0-1. And a swing and a miss at a slider away. And the count is quickly 0-2 to Monasterio. 28th round pick by the Angels in 2019 out of Pike County High School in Georgia. As this slider is low and outside, and the count goes to 1-2 to Monasterio. So after being drafted in 2019, is already pushed up to Double-A, so he's just 21 years old. He will turn 22 right before the year ends, December 30th. 1-2, and Monasterio lifts it foul. The count of ball and 2 strikes still to the shortstop, Monasterio. Scouting report on the right-hander Crow. He throws a sinking fastball, a slider, and a changeup. Right-hander working from the first base side of the rubber. Peers in, and the 1-2. And a breaking ball drops in for a called third strike. All right, at the bottom of the zone, Monasterio down looking, and there's 2 gone for Garrett Whitley. Honestly, that looked more like it was a curveball that was dropped in there by Crow, so maybe something that wasn't on the scouting report for us. Right-hander deals home the first to Whitley, and a fastball paints the bottom of the zone for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, Whitley, the right fielder, 3 for his first 22 with the Shuckers, but that really doesn't indicate how impactful he was in our series against the Mississippi Braves. As the 0-1 steps back from it, on the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Whitley in a scoreless game here in the bottom of the first inning. Whitley drawing plenty of walks in our series there in Montgomery. He got 5 of them as he lashes this foul down the right field line. And so the count of ball and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Whitley. Came in and scored 3 runs, also stole 3 bases successfully in that series. Wheats here, and the 1-2. And a breaking ball low and outside. And the count draws even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Whitley. So the new outfield of Whitley, Ray, Lutz, and Dostin. Those are your 4 outfielders for the Shuckers. As the 2-2 fastball is inside. Wow, Crow was confidently walking off the mound, and you can't particularly blame him because that inside edge is right where Teixeira was called out on strikes in the last half inning. But now the count is full to Whitley in the 3-2, and a breaking ball is hit out towards left field. Tracking back after it is Hunter Jr. He will give way to the center fielder, Teodosio, who comes over and hauls it in out in the left field gap. Well, the Shuckers are sat down in order in the bottom of the first. We move on to the second. Scoreless between the Shuckers and the Trash Pandas. And Biloxi Shuckers baseball continues in a moment. Southpaw Nick Bennett brings home the first pitch of the top of the second inning, and it's a little outside of the right-handed hitting Jeremiah Jackson to kick things off here in the frame, the 1-0. And that is low and away as well with a fastball. It's 2 balls and no strikes to the second baseman, Jackson. No score, Shuckers and Trash Pandas here in the second as the 2-0. Well, a slider falls in for a strike. And the count is 2-1. Derek Green with you here. Thomas Zinzarella alongside for the series opener. As Bennett strides home with the 2-1. And a cutter. Back edge for a strike. And the count draws even at 2-2. Well, that'll force a step out from Jackson, who's hitting .207 this year in 54 games with Rocket City. Bennett, the 2-2. And a swing and a miss on a slider down in the dirt. Third strikeout. Check that fourth strikeout. For Bennett, he's got 4 in a row. 1 gone, and Torrey Hunter Jr., the batter.
And he's got 3 of those 4 strikeouts on a slider as well. He's got O'Hoppin, Palmero. Again, it's that big sweeper, which to a right-handed batter going to come from the outer half and in on the hands.
As the first offer, there is a slider ripped through and missed for a strike. It is 0-1. And you said it early on, partner, and it does look like tonight the slider is the pitch that is working for Bennett. He has featured it heavy. The 0-1. This is popped up. Right side of the diamond, tracking it in the outfield, is Valerio, and he's backing up, twirling back towards his right. And he'll make the catch over his head, still in the shadows from the grandstand on the first base side. And just like that, there are 2 gone here in the inning for Bennett.
Well, it's a really gusty day at MGM Park. Flags are blowing out in right field. They're more kind of gusting in the first than they are right now in the second inning. But for as you mentioned, Torrey Hunter Jr. fighting the sun in left field in that bottom of the first inning. It's also the wind that's going to play a factor as well here at this ballpark.
So the switch hitter, Kevin Mike Ton, takes a cut and a miss at a cutter down at the bottom of the zone for a strike. It is 0-1. 2 gone, bases empty. No score, Shuckers and Trash Pandas here in the top of the second. Bennett, the 0-1. And that is fouled back. And the count is now 0-2. Well, this lines right up with what Nick Bennett has done over the last 5 outings that he's made. He was named the Brewers Minor League Pitcher of the Month for July. The 0-2 offer. And that is at the knees for a called third strike. 5 strikeouts through 2 hitless innings for Nick Bennett. And as we move on to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless between the Shuckers and the Trash Pandas on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Home half of the second inning, no score between the Shuckers and the Trash Pandas. The right-hander Coleman Crow deals home the first one to Lutz, who bounces it into the ground. A 2-hopper out to second. Jackson scoops, and across his body throws to first, and Tristan Lutz is retired on just 1 pitch to get the second inning in the bottom of the frame going. So 1 gone, and it brings up Cam Devaney. Well, the right-hander Crow worked effectively in the first inning. He needed just 12 pitches to make it through the first. 8 of them were strikes. Got a fly out from Corey Ray on the first offering that he threw. Struck out Monasterio and got a line out to left center by Whitley. First offer fastball is a little downstairs to Devaney. It is a 1-0. Well, Cam hitting .269 this year, 92 games for Devaney. Crow nods in agreement with his catcher and the pitch. And this is a busted bat bouncer out to the mound. And Crow is quick to hop on it. And he scoops and throws to first. Well, sawed off Devaney right at the handle. And how about that? You could call that a Crow hop. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. He was very quick off of the mound and scooped it up and made an accurate throw. 1-3 on the putout. 2 gone, and Thomas Dillard, the hitter for Biloxi. No score, Shuckers and Trash Pandas here in the bottom of the second inning. On the first offer, that does look like it's a curveball, and it's low and outside for a ball. It is 1-0. A scouting report came to us courtesy of MLB Pipeline today, where Crow is ranked as the number 22 prospect in the Angels organization. He rips off another Uncle Charlie, and that swung on a miss by Dillard, and the count is 1-1. Dillard hitting .229 this year. 24 doubles, a triple, and 9 home runs. 1-1, and he hits this in the air out into left field. Hunter Jr. fighting the sun. Back at the wall, he leaps up, and instead it is Teodosio who leaps in front of him and hauls it in for the out. No. Yes, it is. Wow. At the left field wall, Hunter Jr. was fighting the sun, and Teodosio leapt in front of him and made that catch. Well, it's another 1-2-3 inning for Coleman Crow, and we played 2 here in Biloxi. No score between the Shuckers and the Trash Pandas, and Biloxi Shuckers baseball will continue in a moment. Start of the third inning, Biloxi Shuckers scoreless with the Trash Pandas. Nick Bennett deals home a slider inside to Bryce Teodosio, who just made a great catch in center field. It'll be 8-9-1 as the 1-0 is fouled off and the count is 1-1. No score, and to take you through the next couple of innings, here is Thomas Zenzarella.
Well, thank you, Garrett. It always seems like it comes up where a guy makes a great play, and he's the first man to lead off. And you said Teodosio, he waits the 1-1 as he grounds it foul down the third base side for strike 2. It is 1-2. Well, Nick Bennett so far, he's struck out 5 of the 7 batters he's faced so far. 5 of the first 6 outs. As the southpaw wheels and deals 1-2. And a line drive past the diving Devaney, the third baseman in the left field, a base hit. And we have our first hit of the ball game. A leadoff single by the center fielder, Teodosio. A 1-2 pitch that Bennett on the inner half, and Teodosio gets the arms around quick enough and lines it past a good effort from Devaney at third. So man on, nobody out. No score in the top of the third inning. And Jordan Adams, the right fielder from the right side. And Adams waves and misses on a cutter for strike 1. Now the right fielder, the 9-hole hitter today for Rocket City. And a toss over from Bennett over to Dillard at first. Adams hitting .219, 3 home runs and 10 runs driven in. Runner going, ground ball to third. Devaney backs up, stabs, spins around and throws across the diamond. A crisp play by the Shuckers third baseman puts away Adams. And the first out is Teodosio again, who was going off on the pitch, is safe at second base.
Well, that's just another great play by Cam Devaney. That one rolled up right to the edge of the webbing, so he kind of snow-coned it. And because we've seen how good Cam has been at third this year, doesn't rush the throw, takes his time. He's got a strong arm to get it across the diamond, and he does in time to at least get one there.
And that's what makes Cam so valuable with his arm, like you said. Really can put him anywhere on the infield. And with one out, a first pitch slider on the inside corner to Levon Soto, the shortstop, who was hit by the first pitch of the ball game. Vinny playing short in third base this season, also had a spell out in left field. The 0-1 from Bennett. A slider down and away. Soto checks the swing, lays off. And the count evens 1-1.
There was a while where left field was an experiment to find out who could play out there this season for Biloxi.
It was a revolving door. Noah Campbell going down in the opening series. Dislocating his finger. 1-1. And Soto lines it foul the right field side into the Shuckers bullpen for strike 2. The Shuckers have dealt with some injuries in the outfield this season. We talked about before how those top 3 prospects in the Brewers system at one point, Mitchell, Weimer, and Freelich, but they collectively didn't play together for most of the time when they're here in Double-A. 1-2, and a swing and a miss. He got him. Another slider outside, and bet it up to 6 strikeouts for 2 2/3 innings.
Well, no surprise, it's the slider yet again, and this time he gets a chase from the left-handed hitter. And again, big, he located it on the inner edge right out of the gate. And so that really opens up the outside part of the plate as well to have to protect against it.
2 outs, runner at second, no score, and the first pitch is pounded deep to left field. Goodbye. A home run for Logan O'Hoppe. His second home run with Rocket City. And O'Hoppe gets the Trash Pandas on the board at first. It's 2-0 here in the third.
Well, he had 15 of them when he was with Reading this season. And unfortunately, that might be a case where Bennett just went to the well with the slider one too many times, tried to throw it at the bottom of the zone for a strike, and just left it up a little bit too much. O'Hoppe, a very disciplined hitter, takes it out of the ballpark.
First pitch, another lefty, Palmero, is high and tight with a fastball at 89 for ball one. That was with the scouting report on O'Hoppe. His power has developed the last few years in the Philly system. And the 1-0 is inside of Palmero with a cutter, 2-0. He's always drafted out of high school by the Phillies from Long Island, always known as somebody who is a good defensive catcher. And the power has surged here in 2022. And the 2-0, Palmero flies it high in the air down the right field line, but that's going to hook foul just to the right of the Schooners' fun zone.
That foul ball brought to you by Glass Doctors. New windshield takes damage. Call Glass Doctors. 228-641-91.
New addition here in the ballpark for this series. 2 outs, nobody on to the 2-1. And a slider misses down in the zone. 3-1. Palmero struck out swinging in the first. 3-1. And a fastball is at the knees, called strike. Well, Palmero is getting ready to toss the barrel back towards the third base dugout. He thought that's where that slider just was. 3-2. And Palmero laces it down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Right on the white line and nestles up in the corner where Whitley retrieves it out and throws it to second base, but Palmero is already standing there with a 2-out double. One of the league leaders continues to add on his 26th double this season for Preston Palmero. And that's always been kind of the book on him is, the power, can he generate it or not? Well, if he get extra base hits, pretty darn good as well. And Sonny Teixeira takes the fastball up and away for ball one. Two outs, runner at second, 1-0. And downstairs with a cutter, 2-0. As now the catcher, Brent Diaz, will come out to chat with Bennett. Well, this is something that kind of plagued Bennett as well as last start. It hasn't really come back to hurt him yet, but the 2-out rallies against him. His last start against the Embrace, was able to strand 2 men on the corners in the second inning on Wednesday. In the second, but the third, it finally caught up to him. Well, the Embrace scored 2 runs, a pair of RBI singles, both coming with 2 outs. If he gets Teixeira here, it'll just be the home run. And the 2-0. The slider inside. Think back, 2 outs in this inning as well before the home run. Now Palmero at second base, 3-0. And a fastball called strike on the outside corner. The DH today. Teixeira wheels the bat back towards the lefty southpaw pitcher. 3-1. And low. Fastball, ball 4. That's now 3 straight men reaching. Leadoff single by Teodosio. Logan O'Hoppe in his second home run in the Angels organization since being acquired on the trade deadline. Now runners on first and second for the second baseman, Jeremiah Jackson. Looking to add on to this 2-run top of the third inning. His red bat on his back right shoulder. First pitch, a slider. He swings over the top of for strike 1. Jackson struck out swinging in the second. Been at 6 strikeouts so far. His career high is 9. He tallied in Montgomery first week of July. Looks back to second, the 0-1. And a slider, Jackson spoils that home plate for strike two. And it's really been something for Ben over the last 6 starts or so. He's just been a different pitcher here. Making his 19th appearance, 18th start, as the 0-2 is bounced foul at the third base side. So that's why I think he cut the numbers in half from the first 9 starts to these latter 9. You take the numbers, and the 4.67 ERA would probably disappear to under 4. Cut off a run or so. The 0-2, and Adams' sharp hit ground ball right at Monasterio down to knee. Goes a short route to second, and that'll land the frame near the top of the third. With the trash pan to strike first, a 2-run home run from their number 1 prospect, Logan Ohapi. 2-0 after 2.5 in Biloxi. Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. First pitch is a called strike to the right-handed hitter, Felix Valerio. Trash pan is on top 2-0 after a 2-run blast from Logan Ohapi. 79 due up in the order, as the 0-1 is a breaking ball down and away for ball. 6 up, 6 down so far for the right-hander Coleman Crow. Fires home a 1-1, and a fastball 90 miles an hour misses just outside, 2-1. Valera, coming off a multi-hit performance on Sunday, drove in a run, hitting .233 this season as he swings and misses on a slider that dips low and away, 2-2. Infield playing back. On the infield, 2-2. And a breaking ball. Valerio lines, tips off the glove of Maitan. And down the left field line, Valerio thinking 2 out of the batter's box. Throw comes in, and Valerio slides in safely. Well, the ball that was tipped off the top of the glove of Maitan, the third baseman, it slowed it down. And Valerio, watching the ball the entire way, ends up at second base with a double. It's been a long time coming for Valerio. His first extra base hit since July 15th. He's got a big smile on his face, and that's why you think, those Sunday day games, especially up in Pearl, it could be absolute scorchers, but, 2-hit game for him. Starting to figure things out at home plate again. As Gabe Holt fouls it on towards the on-deck circle on the third base side for strike 1. The Shucker is looking to counter. 2-run top half of this inning. Bottom of the third. And the right-hander Crows 0-1. It's down and inside. Count evens a ball and a strike. Holt hitting .208 this season. He's driven in 14 runs. He chokes up about an inch on the black barrel back. 1-1. And Holt shoots it fouled on the third base side on a play.
This foul ball brought to you by Glass Doctors. New Winchell takes damage called Glass Doctors. 228-641.
The Shuckers have been so good at that this season. Just every single time it feels like an opponent scores, especially at home. The Shuckers are able to answer right back, and that's what's led to them having this 31-18 record at home at MGM Park. As Crow steps off the backside of the rubber and cleans it off with his right foot as he steps back on top of it. 1-2. And Holt again fouls it back. Third base side, off the netting towards Mike Guerrero in the third base coach's box. A leadoff double by Felix Valerio. As the Shuckers in business here, their first hit tonight off the right-hander Crow. Brings the glove in towards the belt, 1-2. And a fastball just outside, 2-2. Well, the interesting part about Crow is that drafted in 2019, did not pitch that entire season after the draft in the Angels system, which at that time Both the Milwaukee Brewers, the Shuckers parent club, and the Angels. As a 2-2, Holt fouls it off again as he loops it down the third base side into the stands. Both the Angels and the Brewers had an affiliate in the Pioneer League. Now with Independent Baseball League, they're an MLB partner league, but the Angels playing in Orem, in Utah, or the Utah Valley ballpark, and then the Brewers in Helena. There's a 2-2 Holton tips it foul. Before they move to Rocky Mountain and the old AAA ballpark in Colorado Springs. So that's why it's interesting. Obviously, it's more of a hitter-friendly league out there, so that's why a lot of teams in that league will keep their players either around the complex or the Kansas City Royals had an affiliate in that league, and they would send them to Burlington in the Appalachian League. Crow's 2-2, and Holt chops it right back to Crow, looks back to second, and will fire to first. Put away Holt in the first out in this third inning. But then he lost the season in 2020 due to COVID, obviously. So his first year in the Angels system was 2 years after he was drafted. And what he has progressed last year, pitched well in the Arizona Fall League, and until his last two starts, gave up 6 runs each, 11 hits against the Smokies. His ERA was sub 3.5 as that's pulled down the left field line and just foul by about a foot off the bat of the catcher, Brent Diaz. Was just a half a second too quick through the zone. And so Diaz has to make the slow walk back to home plate and pick up the bat. Runner on second base, 1 out, bottom 3. Shuckers trailing the Rocket City Trash Pandas 2-0. Diaz stands in the right side against the right-hander Crow. Gazes back to second. Another look there, the 0-1. And a curveball misses inside, and the count evens. Well, Diaz sporting a 5-game hitting streak. A catcher that's about a every other day guy. He'll get in 3-4 times in a series. Split the reps. 1-1. Curveball that Diaz swings over the top of down and away. For strike 2. Well, Brent, 262 hitters, 7 home runs, and 26 driven in here in Double-A. Had a stint up in Triple-A Nashville as well this season. A lot of good catchers in this Brewers system. 1-2 is downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Diaz.
That's one of the storylines coming into today, and we'll talk about it throughout the course of today, but there were a lot of moves at the lower levels, including Jefferson Caro getting promoted to High A, Wisconsin, and there's a lot of thought he might be the best defensive catcher in the system.
2-2 as Diaz rifles it foul off the first base netting. Well, not a bad talent to have at the catching position. Help develop your pitchers as well. And that was kind of the thought with O'Hoppe in the Phillies system. Well, you have a really good major league catcher in JT Realmuto, who you traded for from the Marlins. And then he's still got a lot of control left in his contract. 2-2. And a breaking ball waved out and missed for strike 3. The second strikeout for Crow, the second out here as well in the bottom of the third inning. So leadoff double by Felix Valerio, and he's feeling lonely at second base right now. A ground out and a strikeout as Corey Ray, the center fielder in the top of the order, comes back around the second time through against the right-hander Coleman Crow. First pitch down and away. A change up for ball 1. Hasn't thrown it too many times today. Crow flew out, or Ray flew out to right field, excuse me. As the 1-0 is a backdoor breaking ball. This is away. 2-0. Flew it on the first pitch of the first inning. Deep right field. Plenty of power in that barrel. 2-0. And down and inside. 3-0. We saw on display even his first series back in Biloxi at Trustmark Park. Hit one just to the right of the batter's eye. It's 4-0-2 in center field, which Trustmark Park is probably the biggest ballpark in the league, in the Southern League. Got to have some real power to get out of that place. As a 3-0 curveball misses outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Ray.
They used to be able to make the argument that maybe Jacksonville, because it was 420 feet to straightaway center there, but they made up for it by having a short right field porch that also only had about a 4 foot wall out there in right field.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a 10-foot wall most of the way around like it is at Trustmark Park, and obviously big dimensions, big alleys, a lot of space in the outfield.
Get some triples out there. His first pitch, Andrew Monasterio, is inside for ball one. Tried the changeup that time.
As we said, and we talked about when we were there in Pearl, it's Braves team that's hit the fewest number of home runs in the entire Southern League, and the ballpark is a big factor.
A spin move over to second base for Crow. Nothing doing as Valerio back in.
Not to get too technical, but that's part of the reason why last season, when you looked at weighted runs created plus, which factors in ballpark factors, Shane Langoliers had such a high number.
1-0, and Monasterio takes a curveball over the heart of the plate for a called strike.
Though last season, with the team that the Braves had, and also maybe with the fact that there were baseballs that hadn't been used since 2020 and we were playing in 2021, the ball flew out of the ballpark a lot easier there last season.
And the 1-1. And Monasterio chops it up the middle and through past the diving Jackson into center field. Here comes Valerio. He's going to score. Everybody moves up an extra base as Monasterio ends up at second base, and he's tagged high. But the Shuckers get on the board either way. An RBI single from Monasterio. It's 2-1 Trash Pandas in the bottom of the third.
We have seen Monasterio. He is always looking to try and take an extra 90 feet, and no hard feelings out there at second base, as he did take the high tag, and I think he just needed a second after he gotten more or less glove punched in the face, but on an attempt to just try and get him there. But what a job by Monasterio, who's been so steady for the Shuckers to drive in a run, and now tying run just 90 feet away.
And Crow is doing such a good job after allowing the leadoff double to Valerio. Ground out on a strikeout before the 4-pitch walk to Ray. And he allows Monasterio to come up in a sharp hit. Ground ball right back up the middle. She's taking a look at it on MILB.TV. With Monasterio, and he's been able to do is it's coming back down from AAA Nashville, and he's happy, a guy that can play every day down here, and that's why I think you ask anybody sometimes when no one wants to be reassigned downward. But obviously, if you're playing once every 3 or 4 days up at another level, you'd rather play every day, chance to continue to strive and get better, and that's why Jackson Reed spent a little extra time down here at AA. First pitch to Garrett Whitley, slider down and away for ball one. And Reed, so you can still find his name littered across the Southern League leaderboards, and he's been gone for a good 2-3 weeks now, almost a month coming up on. 1-0. And a breaking ball. Whitley swings over for a strike.
I believe it's pretty much right at a month. He left at the end of that Montgomery series on July 10th.
Yeah.
It was his last game that he played with Biloxi, so pretty much right on it.
1 run in this bottom of the third inning. 2-1 Trash Pandas. 2 men in score position at second and third with 2 gone. After the mound visit, Crow looking to put away Whitley and to put a tourniquet on this thing. 1-1. And a fastball. Whitley pops foul. First base side. Out of play. Over towards I-110, which runs parallel. The second level up here at MGM Park. And the 1-2 is downstairs with a changeup, 2-2. So Ray's at third base, Monasterio at second. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard in right center, the 2-2. And Whitley pounds it high in the air, down the left field line. It's fair, and it is gone. Bat flip it all for Garrett Whitley as he hands the Shuckers a 4-2 lead in the third. Welcome to Biloxi, Garrett Whitley. So all 4 runs in this half inning coming with 2 outs. And again, the theme continues. Opponent puts up 2 runs in the top of the third. The Shuckers come back with an equal amount or more. A 4-run third inning as the first pitch of Tristan Lutz swings and misses an inside fastball for a strike as he stumbles over home plate. Nobody on now is Crow working from the windup, the 0-1. And a high and tight fastball. Let's cuts and misses after. It's 0-2. Well, let's grind it out to Jeremiah Jackson, the second baseman last inning. The 0-2, and Let's strikes out swinging. Elevated breaking ball. Third strikeout for Colvin Crow, but the Shuckers strike for 4 runs, including a 3-run home run from Garrett Whitley. Shuckers 4, Trash Pandas 2 after 3 at MGM Park on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Top of the 4th inning, Nick Bennett pitching with the lead for the first time tonight. 4-2 Shuckers in the top of the 4th as Torrey Hunter Jr. shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes outside for ball 1. A 3-run home run from Garrett Whitley, the highlight of that last inning, as he foul tips the slider edge of the mitt of the catcher Diaz for strike 1. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Southpaw Bennett comes home 1-1. And outside with a breaking ball, 2-1. Third baseman Cam Devaney is in on the grass. As now he moves a few steps back, playing just behind it, and he shuffles back even more. 2-1, and fouls it off the edge of the bat. On a fastball from Nick, 2-2. An RBI single from Monasterio in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and then the next batter, Garrett Whitley, drives them all in. As a 2-2. And a slider, Hunter sends in the air, center field. Ray now turning over his head, and that one bounces off the batter's eye for a home run. So the ball flying out of the ballpark tonight, our 3rd home run through 3+ innings. Torrey Hunter Jr. cuts in the deficit now 4-3 on his 7th of the season. Well, you could tell from Ray's reaction, he started sliding back, all of a sudden turned and ran after it. As first pitch is rolled over on the ground, Devaney corrals it, sets his feet, and throws across the diamond, puts away Kevin Maitan on 1 pitch. So 1 run in and now 1 out in the top of the 4th inning with the Shuckers on top 4-3. So nobody on, 1 gone, and the center fielder Bryce Teodosio climbs in the right-hander's batter's box against the southpaw Nick Bennett. Misses downstairs with a cutter. Teodosio singled and scored last inning on the home run from Logan Ohapi, the Angels' #1 prospect. A Trash Pandas team that has plenty of them. 1-0 fastball away, 2-0. Sam Bachman, the right-handed pitcher, the #2 prospect. He's going to go in this series. 2-0. And Bennett misses outside with a fastball, 3-0. Bennett now running his pitch count up to 59 pitches. As Teodosio taking the entire way. A cutter on the inside half for a called strike. But again, the story so far, 3 home runs through 3 innings. 3-1, and that's left in the air, left center field. Lutz into the alley. Few steps shot of the warning track. Cam Sunderd makes the grab. For the second out of the inning.
Right fielder Jordan Adams.
So 2 outs and nobody on. 1 run in on the solo home run from Torrey Hunter Jr. And Jordan Adams, the right fielder. Bennett, a quick worker, fires into first pitch fastball. That's over the head of Monasterio, the shortstop, into left field. And Jordan Adams, his first hit in his second at-bat today. Already up to 5 hits for the Trash Pandas. So after both pitchers really were cruising through 2 innings, the offense has won the day here in these last inning and a half. There's a toss over to first to check on Adams, the right fielder. Adams a perfect 6 for 6 in stolen bases. And the first pitch on Soto is grounded up the first base side foul. The top of the order for the Trash Pandas now as they work their way 3rd time through. Adams about a 2-step lead off of first. As he extends it about another half a foot. And the 0-1 inside. Soto almost got hit on that front right hip again. Hit by pitch in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Bennett looks over to first. 1-1. And a slider Soto lunges after as he comes across home plate. Can't make contact on for strike 2. And really has some good movement to it. And again, I think that's the one pitch that has really changed his season this year. And he goes to it here once again. 2 outs in the inning, the 1-2. And he fouls it off his back foot. Another slider, this time a bit up in the zone. I think he's really started to find the control of the slider. He's thrown a changeup once in a while, which he said he's been looking to mix in, change things up a little bit. 1-2, runner goes, and a swing and a miss. A slider down and in as Soto goes down to a knee, and Nick Bennett 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. But the Trash Pandas get another back on the Torrey Hunter Jr. solo home run off the batter's eye in center field. 4-3 Shuckers after 3.5 in Biloxi on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Home half of the 4th inning, Biloxi with a 4-3 lead. And the first pitch of Cam Devaney is skewed off the edge of the bat on the hole on the right side. Palmera Fields flips to Crow. 3-1 on the putout. And Cam Devaney 2 ground outs so far. 1 pitch, 1 out. Again in the bottom of the 4th inning. Shuckers 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Trash Pandas 2 runs in the top of the 3rd, and then a solo blast from Torrey Hunter Jr. in the top half of his frame. 1 out, nobody on base, and the switching first baseman Thomas Dillard from the left side against the right-hander in Coleman Crow. Fires Soma first pitch. This is up and away for ball 1 to Dillard. What a big series up in Pearl, Mississippi, closer to his hometown of Oxford. There's a 1-0 curveball. There's a called strike on the outer half, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Dillard having a 3-hit Sunday afternoon. And the 1-1 is inside. 2-1. Dillard finished the afternoon 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a run. And the 2-1 is called strike on the outer half with the fastball 2-2. Well, currently tied for 3rd in the Southern League in doubles, 4th in RBIs, and Up at first and walks as a 2-2. Swings and misses on a breaking ball. And Crow now up to 4 strikeouts on his evening.
Now batting second baseman number 15, Felix Valerio.
So a fast-paced bottom of the 4th inning. 2 up, 2 down. And the second baseman, Felix Valerio, takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike. The 0-1 is low with the changeup. 1-1. Valerio doubled and scored last inning. Lined a ball just over the head of Mike Ton at third base and nicked off the top of his glove. And the 1-1 up and inside as Valerio thought about it, but lays off the elevated fastball. 2-1. Well, Valerio had some waiting time at second base, though, before Andrew Monasterio drove him in the first run for the Shuckers. And 2-1 down and away. And the count heads north to 3-1. And the next batter after Monasterio, Garrett Whitley, took the 2-2 pitch and slammed it down the left field line for a 3-run blast. 3-1 fastball is at the eye level for ball 4. And Valerio walks. That's the second walk issued by Crow tonight. He walked Ray on 4 pitches in the 3rd. So runner at first and Gabe Holt the hitter. That's been the one difference, though, in Crow between talking about before him not pitching in 2019 or obviously 2020. But last year his walk rate as a fastball up and away for ball 1 was about 4.2 walk per 9 innings. Arizona Fall League, that's where he really started to hunker down. It was down near about 1.1, and this year it's just north of 2. And a quick toss over to first. Valerio sneaks back into the far end of the base. That's been the improvement for Crow, and I think, too, just getting back into working. And obviously, a pitcher out of high school, it's a little bit different, pitching in high school than the minor leagues. And a 1-0 breaking ball misses away. The lefty hitter Holt 2-0. So there is some adjustment period. And Holt takes a fastball at 88 miles an hour, called strike at the knees. Holt bounced it back to Crow his first time up. 1-3 on the putout. Righty set for the belt, kicks 2-1. And a breaking ball that dances over the heart of the plate for a called strike. And Crow working backwards, evens the count at 2-2. Shuckers with a 4-3 lead on the Trash Pandas in Game 1 of this 6-game series. The first time that these two clubs are facing off in 2022. And the 2-2 is rolled foul to first base side. Can't believe it's been this long already into August, and this is the last opponent that either team will not have faced. Do it again, 2-2. And Holt takes fastball low, 3-2. So Valerio will get a head start at first base. Palmero, the first baseman, will not hold him on now. With 2 outs. Runner at first. Crow gets a sign from Ohapi. 3-2. There he goes. And Holt swings and misses for strike 3. 5 strikeouts from Crow, including 2 in this 4th inning. No runs on no hits. A man left at first for Biloxi, but they have a 4-3 lead after 4 innings in Biloxi. Listen to Shuckers Baseball, the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Well, the full moon is out in Biloxi at MGM Park tonight. We've reached the top of the 5th inning. Shuckers with a 4-3 advantage on the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Southpaw Nick Bennett back out to the hill. With that, I send it back to Garrett Green to take you through the next few frames.
All right, thank you so much, Thomas. So here is Logan Ohapi, who takes outside for a ball. It is 1-0. Ohapi put the Trash Pandas on the board in the third with a 2-run homer. 1-0, and he checks his swing on a back foot slider. 2 balls and no strikes to the catcher. Ohapi rated as the number 84 prospect in all of baseball by MLB Pipeline. 2-0, and a backdoor slider is in there for a strike to the right-handed hitter. It is 2-1. Of course, we normally use MLB Pipeline on this broadcast, as the 2-1 is a cutter, and that missed a little low and outside, and the count is 3-1 now to Ohapi. And of course, a big reason for that is the ability for them to change and vary. 3-1, and Ohapi lays into this one deep to left field. Lutz is back. It is over the side and gone. And Logan Ohapi, his second home run of the night. His third here at Double-A, and that goes down as his 18th overall, and it's tied this game at 4 here in the top of the 5th inning. Well, the number 1 prospect in the Angels system making a difference in this one. He's driven in 3 of the 4 for the Trash Pandas tonight.
He's got some serious power as well. It's just like an effortless swing, and the ball just flies off the barrel.
Well, unfortunately for Bennett, that's now the 3rd home run that he has allowed. And so the game now tied at 4 as Palmeiro stands in and takes an inside cutter for a ball. It is 1-0. For Bennett, that is a new career high in home runs allowed in a game. He had allowed 2 in a game on 4 different occasions in his career. This is low and in with a fastball, and the count is 1-1. And tonight is a night where, especially out to left field, conditions are a little favorable for home runs. As this is yanked out into right field, and Whitley will have to play it on a hop. And it's the second hit of the night for Palmeiro. Pulled a double just inside the right field line his last time up. And now he singles out into right here. So still nobody out, 1 on, tied at 4 here in the top of the 5th inning. And it brings up Sonny DeShera. Talking about prospect rankings, and we use MLB Pipeline. Well, Baseball America just did their big re-rank after the trade deadline. First offer on the way in DeShera, it hits him. Slider that came in, and Bennett, who looked so good the first time through the order, is seeded a little bit here, and now Brent Diaz will come out and hand deliver the baseball to talk things over with Bennett. But with Baseball America's re-rank, the interesting nugget for that for Brewers fans is that Jackson Chourio, who is the number 1 prospect in the Brewers organization, if you look at MLB Pipeline, as well as now if you look at Baseball America, re-ranked as the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. That is how highly scouting agencies, Keith Law over The Athletic, Baseball America, and I'm sure MLB Pipeline has moved him up as well. That is what they think of the young outfielder who's now at high A in Wisconsin. Right here, runners on first and second with nobody gone. And the first offer on the way, lined into center field by Jackson. That'll dunk in for a base hit. Ray will scoop. They will wave home Palmeiro, and the throw will come to third. And an RBI single by Jeremiah Jackson has scored 2 here in the 5th, and it's 5-4 Trash Pandas. So settle in as we go back and forth tonight. DeShera just down to second base as Palmeiro scores from second. And the Mobile native drives in a run in the closest ballpark to his home city. Oh, I guess that's not true. Pensacola, a little closer to Mobile. Now it's Torrey Hunter Jr., and the first pitch to him is a cutter on the outside edge for a called strike. It is 0-1.
Well, still both relatively close.
Obviously, we used to have a team over in Mobile, and the Mobile Bay Bears played their last season in 2019, the 0-1. And that is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The piece that got Logan Ohapi to these Rocket City Trash Pandas was a former Mobile Bay Bear, Brandon Marsh, back when he was the number 2 prospect in the Angels organization. Set down though, 1-1. And a wave and a miss through a slider. The count is 1-2. 5-4 Trash Pandas here in the top of the 5th inning. Still nobody gone. DeShera at second, Jackson at first. And a 2-strike count on Hunter Jr., who homered his last time up. Bennett, the 1-2. And a swing and a miss on a ball down in the dirt. No opportunity to advance, and Bennett strikes out Hunter Jr. 8th strikeout of the night and a big first out for Nick. And it brings up the switch hitting Kevin Maitan.
Well, that's been the unfortunate part, for Bennett. He's got the 8 strikeouts, one shy of tying his career high, but then you mentioned the 3 home runs as well.
So now the set and the first offer. And Maitan, aiming for the fences, rips through an inside cutter for a strike. It is 0-1. So you talk about it, though, for Bennett, that's, 3 home runs allowed, but 2 of them have been solo shots.
Yeah.
So not as bad as the damage could be. RBI single by Jackson is given the Trash Pandas the lead here in the 5th. 0-1, and a breaking ball is rolled foul third base side. And so the count of no balls and 2 strikes to Maitan, who's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. It was a really nice play by Devaney for the out on Maitan back in the 4th inning. It was a ball that was hit to him, and he hit it with his glove. It knocked out, and then Cam just plucked it out of the air with his right hand and made the throw. The 0-2, and that is lined into right center field. Ray is tracking after it, striding over, and he will make the catch, set up, and fire into Monasterio. There's a ricochet off of his glove, but just down into the infield dirt. And again, DiChiara not exactly looking to tag up on a ball even hit to a medium depth right field. 2 gone now, and it's Teodosio to hit.
We know Ray's got a good arm, too. Replacing those of his predecessors, not too shabby either, and he's a lefty arm as well, so he's really lined up right to third base.
Bennett kicks home the first, and Teodosio sends it back to the netting foul for a strike. It is 0-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Trash Pandas. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Shuckers. All 4 runs for Biloxi coming in the bottom of the 3rd inning on an RBI single by Monasterio and a 3-run homer by Garrett Whitley. Bennett, the 0-1. And a slider just misses the back door. 1-1. And this is really tough for Nick. He did have an outing back in Tennessee on July 3rd. That was 4 times ago, where in 5 innings he gave up 5 runs, 4 of them earned. And he'll step off and reset the pitch clock here. But that was the only quote-unquote big outing for him in the entire month of July. Even by giving up those 4 earned runs, Bennett still had a 1.88 ERA for the month. 1-1. And that is low and in. 2-1. And Thomas, you were talking about slicing apart his starts a little bit earlier. If you just look at the last 5 starts for Bennett coming into tonight, he had brought his ERA down by over a run. That is how good Nick Bennett had been pitching lately. The southpaw, the 2-1. And that's low and outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Bryce Teodosio. DiChiara at second and Jackson at first. And Bennett, the 3-1. And that's cued foul. So we'll do it again at 3-2. And there is some right-handed action that is up and going in Biloxi's bullpen. Don't even need the binoculars. You just see the bright red glove, and you know it's Luis Contreras getting warm out there for Biloxi. Meanwhile, no action out of the bullpen for the Trash Pandas. So it looks like we will see Coleman Crow in the bottom of the 5th. 3-2, and that's hit on the ground, deep in the hole. Monasterio fields and fires, and a stretch by Dillard hauls it in time to retire the speedy Teodosio. But 2 runs score on 3 hits, including a home run and 2 singles. 2 men were also left on base. That sends us to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's now Rocket City 5 and Biloxi 4 on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Last of the 5th inning, Shuckers now trailing the Trash Pandas 5-4. Brent Diaz leads it off, and he swings and misses on a curveball from the right-hander Coleman Crow for a strike 0-1. So Crow now at 71 pitches tonight, 43 of them for strikes. The 0-1. And a fastball just misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Diaz. Brent nearly tucked a double inside of the left field line in his first at bat. He was just a little in front. 1-1, and he cues this curveball first base side, but that'll hit the edge and dribble foul and come to rest on the grass. And so the count of ball and 2 strikes now to Diaz. Brent would ultimately end up striking out. Third time through the order about to start for the Shuckers here as the 1-2. And a swing and a miss. That time he threw him a changeup. Going outside, that's 6 strikeouts for Coleman Crow. 1 gone, and the lineup will turn over to Corey Ray. You know, it's interesting. There are times where you can tell you've spent enough time somewhere to really figure things out. The moon rising straight over center field tonight is a new one. You saw it pretty much as we started the game. It was just above the Hard Rock, above the batter's eye, as Ray rips through a curveball for a strike. It is 0-1. And that just tells you that the moon doesn't rotate the Earth on the exact same pattern, because normally, as the 0-1 is a little low and outside, there was the changeup there, and the count is 1-1. Normally, when we've had the moonrise, it does kind of come straight out of left field and back over towards Margaritaville that way. 1-1. And Ray is tardy on a breaking ball on the outer edge. The count is now 1-2 to Ray, who has flied to right and walked so far today. He scored a run as part of that 4-run third. 1-2. And a wave and a miss from a back foot slider. And it's 7 strikeouts for Crow, as he has now K'd 4 of the last 5 batters that he's faced. And so with 2 gone, it'll be Monasterio. The moon coming pretty much straight out from center field, and well, looks like it might just be a day or 2 away from going full, and the madness that comes with it. First offer to Monasterio was a fastball right over for a strike. It is 0-1. Andrew 1 for 2 tonight. An RBI single up the middle back in the 3rd inning. Well, the Shuckers scoring all 4 of their runs with 2 outs in that frame. The 0-1. This is fouled straight back, and the count is 0-2. Looking to repeat that kind of performance here. Contreras is continuing to get warm. Bennett at 91 pitches, so his evening is likely over for Biloxi after 5 frames. The kick in the 0-2, and Monasterio strikes out swinging, and Coleman Crow strikes out the side in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that sends us to the 6th. Shuckers trailing it 5-4, and as we go that way, 10 seconds for station identification all across the Biloxi Shuckers broadcast network. Start of the 6th inning, Shuckers trailing the Rocket City Trash Pandas 5-4. Day is over for the southpaw Nick Bennett, and the new hurler is the right-hander Luis Contreras here in the 6th for the Shuckers.
Now the 26-year-old Contreras, 20th appearance with Biloxi this season, 2-2 record ERA, just over 3 at .309.
First offer fastball is lifted foul for a strike by Jordan Adams. It's 0-1.
3 holds on the season, 1 save and 2 opportunities. He struck out 39, walked 14 in 32 innings this season. Opponent's inning just 198 off of him. Contreras sets at the 0-1. And a fastball ripped on and missed, and the count is 0-2 to Adams. So final line today for Nick Bennett, 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Set in the 0-2. It's just tipped foul. And so the count will stay at no balls and 2 strikes to Adams. So tough for Bennett, who started the night so promising as he hit the first batter, but then he retired the next 6 in a row. Logan O'Hoppe got him for a pair of home runs, and Torrey Hunter Jr. with 1 as well. As a breaking ball is low and outside from Contreras, the count is a ball and 2 strikes still to Adams. Adams 1 for 2 tonight. He singled his last time up back in the 4th. 1 of 8 hits for the Trash Pandas tonight. The 1-2 offer, and that's popped up. Back of home, Diaz casts the mask aside in the dirt circle, reaching for it, and he hauls it in, no more than 15 feet away from home. So a foul out for Adams, 1 gone, and the lineup will turn back over to Levon Soto.
Shortstop.
Game number 1 of this series tonight. We've got 5 more coming up, 6:35 p.m. tomorrow night for your first offering. Shuckers are going to send the right-hander T.J. Shook to the mound, 2-1 with a 4.42 ERA. Rocket City will counter with the right-hander Brett Carey, 3-5 with a 4.50 ERA. First offer to Soto, and he slaps it foul for a strike. It is 0-1. The really exciting matchup, I mean, they're all exciting, but one of the really exciting matchups comes your way on Thursday night, as the Shuckers are set to send the left-hander Robert Gasser to the mound, 1-0 with a even 0 ERA. Rocket City, the right-hander Kai Bush. As this is a strike, it's 0-2. Check that, the left-hander Kai Bush, 5-2 with a 3.28 ERA. Great pitching matchup on a Thursday night. There's another double play Thursday presented by Yingling Coca-Cola and Kicker 108. $2 Yinglings, $2 sodas, $3 hot dogs, as well as $3 draft beer specials. 0-2. That's bounced foul. Came in around the hands with a fastball, and Soto's able to fight it off. Soto is 0 for 3 today. Check that, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Left-handed hitting shortstop is looking for his 100th hit of the season. He's got 99 coming into tonight. That's 3rd in the Southern League. 0-2 when he golfs this in the air. Right field, tracking it in foul ground is Dillard. He's going to run out of space as it 5 rows deep down the right field line. And so the count will stay at 0-2 to Soto. 280 batting average coming into tonight, was also the 6th best in the Southern League. 91st game for Soto. This is game number 103 for Rocket City and game number 101 for Biloxi. Hard to believe we're at a stage where there are just 36 games remaining in the season for both squads. Dangle of the right arm for Contreras before he comes set just above the belt. And the righty's 0-2 is just high and outside with a breaker. On the count of ball and 2 strikes to Soto. 5-4 in favor of the Trash Pandas here in the top of the 6th inning with 1 gone and the bases empty. The right side of the infield pinched together a little bit for the left-handed hitter. 1-2 when a rip and a miss from a breaking ball down in the dirt. 3rd time Soto has gone down on strikes tonight on the first strikeout for Contreras. 2 gone, and here is Logan Ohapi.
Catcher, Logan Ohapi.
Ohapi has homered twice in this evening's game. Hit a 2-run shot back in the 3rd and a solo shot back in the 5th. Set on the first offer, and that is taken at the knees for a called strike. It is 0-1. Set in the 0-1, and that is fouled straight back, and it is 0-2. Second multi-home run game of the year for Ohapi. He had one back on May 17th against the Somerset Patriots. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, part of a 2-for-4 day. The 0-2, and that is high. 1-2 the count to Ohapi. Right-hander Contreras readies his 1-2. Is low and outside. Tried to get him to chase, and he would not.
It's a pretty good Somerset team as well.
They have been playing very well lately, and no doubt part of that is because of the addition of one Jason Dominguez, the Martian. Set and the 2-2. And a swing and a miss. It's in and out of Diaz's hands. He'll have time to scoop it and make an accurate throw to first. And Ohapi strikes out. So he struck out twice tonight and homered twice, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Luis Contreras in the visiting half of the 6th inning. 5.5 in the books, and the Trash Pandas have a 5-4 lead over the Shuckers on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Last of the 6th inning, the Shuckers trailing the Trash Pandas 5-4. It'll be 3-4-5. Whitley, Lutz, and Devaney due up here. Right-hander Coleman Crow whips in a fastball, knee-high for a called strike. It is 0-1 to Whitley. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Trash Pandas. 4 runs, 3 hits, And no errors for Biloxi. 0-1. And Whitley pounds this into the ground, but just wide of third and foul. So the count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Whitley. Whitley gave the Shuckers the lead back in the third inning with a 3-run homer to left. Since then, Crow has struck out 5 of the batters he's faced. As this is down low when the count is now 1-2, including the last 4 in a row, 5 of the last 6. 1-2, and that is laced into left field, a base hit for Whitley. So Whitley a 2-hit night, and again his out this evening was a sharp line out to deep left field, and it brings up Tristan Lutz. Well, Thomas, you know what we've been bad about lately?
Text the booth line.
Yes, there it is. The text the booth line. It has gone completely by the wayside, and that is completely our fault. Whitley slight lead off of first, and the first offer to Lutz, and that is down low for a ball, 1-0. So if you'd like to get in touch with us tonight, you can text the booth. The phone number 601, that's the area code, 601-514, as the 1-0 is fouled off. 601-514-0776. Again, 601-514-0776. We only have a couple of weeks left of the text line, but you can get in touch with us here. Set on the 1-1. And Lutz pops it up. Left side of the diamond. Who's got it? Maitan or Soto? It will be Soto. But not without Maitan bumping into him. Wow. I mean, that could have been disaster. I thought that they were just playing it off, but Maitan with a little bit of a bump, and it's a pop out for the first down.
I got the contact and the foul, the basket and the foul, I should say. And 1.
Well, one gone and Cam Devaney, the hitter. As the set in the offer, and there goes Whitley, and it's spoiled back foul by Devaney as he goes to a knee for a strike. It is 0-1. Left-handed action up now in the bullpen for the Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas armed with several left-handers in their bullpen, unlike the Shuckers, who only have righties in their pen. Crow at 81 pitches coming into this inning. The 0-1 is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Incredibly, Crow has not lost a game since all the way back on April 29th against Birmingham.
Wow.
That was the last loss to his ledger. Spin on a throw, and Whitley kind of lays back down to get to the bag. And that's with giving up 6 runs in each of his previous 2 outings coming into tonight and for this evening. He's gotten 3 straight no decisions coming into tonight. Set down the 0-1. And a breaking ball, and Devaney hits it foul. Third base side with a bouncer. Well, the count is 1-2 to Cam. Cam 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded out to the pitcher and then grounded out to first, a 3-1 put out. So 1-3 and 3-1 tonight for Devaney. 22 doubles on the year, tied for 5th in the Southern League. Hits this one third base side. Maitan backs up, spins, and throws, and a nice low dig by Palmero at a stretch for the second out in the inning. Well, Maitan coming across on a bouncer, and he's able to field, pirouette, and throw to first. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the night for Coleman Crow before Thomas Dillard comes to bat. So a pitching change coming for the Trash Pandas. We'll tell you about the new hurler on the other side. Shuckers trailing by a run 5-4, but they have the tying run in scoring position on the Biloxi Shuckers Radio Network. Pitching change for the Trash Pandas here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Man on second and 2 gone. And the new hurler is the southpaw Nick Jones for Rocket City.
Yeah, Jones selected in the 8th round of the 2021 draft out of Georgia Southern University by the Angels. His 21st appearance in Double-A with Rocket City this season. 1-0 record, a 2.74. 1 save on the season as well. 23 innings, 17 walks, 32 strikeouts.
So man on second with 2 gone, and Thomas Dillard, the switch hitter, bats right. The set and the first offer, and Dillard rolls it over to third. Maitan scoops, he will go to first, and it's in time and 1 pitch, and Jones comes in and shuts down the threat. We go on to the 7th. It's still the Trash Pandas 5 and the Shuckers 4 on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Start of the 7th inning. The Rocket City Trash Pandas a 1-run lead over the Biloxi Shuckers 5-4. It'll be 3-4-5 due up here in the 7th. And to take you through this frame, here is Thomas Zinzarella.
Oh, thank you, Garrett. Luis Contreras, the right-hander, working from the stretch in his second full inning of work. Fires the first pitch fastball down and inside to the first baseman. And the lefty batter, Preston Palmero, for ball 1. Palmero would extend his on-base streak to 11 games today. As a 1-0 checks his swing, but it's a call and strike either way in the outer half. 1-1 with double and a single today, 2 for 3, but kind of one of those cool streaks that Palmero's on. He has scored a run in 11 straight now. And the 1-1 is pulled on the ground, fouled the first base side. 1-2. Well, he singled and scored in the 5th, thanks to the Jeremiah Jackson RBI single. So you don't see that every day. 11 straight games scoring. Bigger of a hit streak and on-base streak that far. And the 1-2 high and tight as he dances out of the way, a fastball, 2-2.
That either requires you to drive yourself in with a home run, or you got to get on base and someone behind you has got to take care of you.
Well, helps with this Rocket City offense for sure. And the 2-2, he reaches for a breaking ball but can't connect on it. A really good location for it. Contreras has now struck out 3 in a row. 1 gone in the top of the 7th inning. Coming into today, Trash Pandas hitting .247 as a team, 101 home runs. They got 3 here today in terms of the long ball. As Sonny DeShera takes a called strike on the fastball about belt high. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 7th, 5-4 Trash Pandas on top. And the 0-1 curveball snaps down and away for a ball as DeShera lays off. Sonny Diaz, they call him. Also extending his on-base streak to 8 games tonight. A walk, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout looking. He's 0 for 1. 1-1, and a breaking ball slithers into the knees for a called strike. Well, Contreras is very sharp tonight. He's got everything working for him so far. Allowed a run in his last inning. Is swing and a miss. High and tight with a fastball and tied him up. And that is now 4 straight strikeouts for Contreras.
Second baseman Jeremiah Jackson.
That's just kind of the swing and miss stuff that Luis has. And so quickly 2 gone for Jeremiah Jackson. The righty against the right-hander. Contreras takes a deep breath and misses up and away with a fastball 91. I mentioned Jackson, an RBI single in the 5th. That's the only time he's been on base today. 1 for 3. But can Contreras strike out the side? 1-2. 1-0, excuse me, is a breaking ball. Swung on a miss for a strike. Contreras had a season-high 7 strikeouts across 3 innings against the Biscuits at the end of May. And the 1-1 spiked in the dirt. The change-up 2-1. That is tied for his longest outing with the Shuckers. Again, he did spend some time in AAA Nashville. Majority of the year, though, here in Biloxi. 2-1. And a curveball is sacked over and missed. Count evens 2-2. But again, the Trash Pandas have led, and thanks to this man, Jeremiah Jackson, he's got the game-winning hit so far, you could say. And the 2-2, he's tied up on a fastball high and in for strike 3. And Contreras strikes out the side in the top of the 7th inning. That's now 5 in a row. Sat down via the strikeout. Contreras is put away all 6 he has faced. It's stretch time at MGM Park. The Shuckers trailing the Trash Pandas 5-4. You're listening to Biloxi Shuckers Baseball on the Shuckers Broadcast Network. And welcome back to Biloxi at MGM Park. Home half of the 7th inning. Biloxi trailing Rocket City 5-4. As first pitch, Branco missed away from the right-hander Valerio. And now he whips in that slider for a called strike. On the other half, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Valerio, a good game so far for him. Doubled and scored in the 3rd, then walked his next time up. As he fouls off the fastball to the netting. First strike, 2-1-2. Tall, lengthy southpaw Nick Jones needed just 1 pitch to put away Dillard. And so we can close the line on Coleman Crow. Starter today for Rocket City. As a 1-2 is at the knees for a called 3rd strike with the fastball 91. And 1 gone. So Crow gives up 4 runs, all of earned on 4 hits through 5 2/3. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Really been the one blemish against him. A 3-run blast from Garrett Whitley in the bottom of the 3rd inning, part of the 4-run 3rd that gave Biloxi the lead at one point. As Gabe Hope reaches for a breaking ball, can't make contact for strike 1. Logan O'Hoppe, a multi-home run day for him. 2-run blast and then a solo home run. As Holt takes a fastball 91 on the knees, called strike. 0-2. Maitan still on the grass at 3rd base, the 0-2. And Old reaches for it and punches it foul. Fastball 92. A good job from Luis Contreras, though, the first man out of the bullpen today. Retired all 6 batters. He struck out 5 of them. All of being the last 5, just a Jordan Adams pop-up. As the 0-2 is chopped right back to Jones. Fields glove side, turns and fires to first. 1-3 put out, 2 gone in the 7th.
Here's catcher number 8, Brent Diaz.
So now Brent Diaz is the last man standing in this 7th inning. As Diaz kicks around some dirt before he gets set to do battle against the lefty, and Nick Jones. He's been economical with his pitch count as well. And the first pitch to the righty batter is outside with a fastball for ball 1. Infield back all the way around. As Jones raises his arms up in the air, brings it down, and the 1-0 is a little flare into shallow right field. It's a base hit. And Brent Diaz has his first base of today. That moves his hitting streak now to 6 games. And it is just the Shuckers' second hit since that 4-run 3rd inning. That's where all the hits have been. 5 in the contest now. There was a leadoff single by Whitley last inning, but 3 hits in the 3rd. They really stockpiled them there. Diaz at first, the tying run, as a fastball at the bottom of the zone, called strike to the left and hitting center fielder Corey Ray. 5-4 Trash Pandas on top, bottom 7, and the 0-1 Ray reaches for a slider in the dirt. Good block from O'Hoppe as he keeps it in front of him. The count's quickly 0-2. Ray walked and scored in the 3rd, a strikeout on a flyout in his ledger. As Jones looks to end the thread right here, the 0-2 runner goes in the dirt. O'Hoppe blocks to the 3rd base side, but that's going to be a stolen base for Brent Diaz. His 4th of the season. He's a perfect 4 for 4.
Brent likes to pick his spots for his steals, and he selected a great pitch to run on there.
I knew with 2 strikes Want to give him something really out of the zone. So he's at second, 1-2. And that runs off the play with a slider, 2-2. The ever-dangerous Corey Ray. Think here as well, 2 outs. Diaz is off on contact. He's going to score either way on a ball in the outfield. 2-2, and Ray pops it high in the air. Third base side by Todd going towards the fence. It ends up just shy of the concourse. And a good fan. Catch by the fan on the bounce back towards the field. And off a few empty seats and on a one-hopper. A little reaching back as well. 2-2 again. And the slider is inside as Ray scoots off the inside corner. So well worked at bat. Ray was behind 0-2. And the count is run full. With 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th inning, 5-4. Shuckers trailing. Jones set for the belt, 3-2. And Ray smacks it the opposite way as Hunter backs up at the last second and hangs on to make the grab and put a bow on this 7th inning. No runs, a hit, and Diaz is left in score position at second base. We move on to the top of the 8th inning. 5-4 Rocket City on top of Biloxi as Biloxi Shuckers baseball will continue in a moment. We've hit the top of the 8th inning. Shuckers still searching for an elusive run. They trail 5-4. Luis Contreras' evening is over as Zach Venero enters the ball game. And with that, we send it back to Garrett Green to take you the rest of the way home tonight.
All right, thanks so much, Thomas. Venero into the game for the 36th time this year, all in relief. First offer to Torrey Hunter Jr. The slider is low and outside for a ball, 1-0. Venero 4-2 this year with a 3.62 ERA. 9 saves and 12 chances. This does not qualify as one for Biloxi. Trailing by a run. 1-0 slider, low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Hunter Jr. Rest of the numbers on Venero for this season. 37 and a third innings, 17 runs, 15 earned on 35 hits. He's walked 20 and struck out 41. Opponents hitting .252 off of him. As he throws a sinker at the bottom of the zone for a strike. And the count is now 2-1 to Hunter Jr. Hunter Jr. 1 for 3 today. His one started a 3-run comeback. The Trash Pandas a solo home run back in the 4th. 2-1 slider, low and outside, and the count is 3-1. Trash Pandas would score that one in the 4th. They would take the lead in the 5th after a solo home run by Logan Ohapi, his 2nd of the night. And the 3-1. Right at the knees for a strike, 3-2. Then a single by Palmero, a hit by pitch of Teixeira, and an RBI single by Jeremiah Jackson, giving Rocket City a 5-4 lead they have not relinquished. Venero kicks home the 3-2, and a fastball's right at the bottom of the zone for a called third strike. So that's the first strikeout for Venero, and it is the 6th consecutive strikeout for Shuckers pitching, as Contreras struck out 5 of the 6 that he saw. The lone man who didn't strike out was Jordan Adams, who popped out in foul territory right at home plate. So nobody gone, or excuse me, one gone, nobody on base, and Kevin Maitan, the batter. First offer, and a fastball is outside, 1-0. Switch hitter bats left against the right-hander Venero. Zach working in full-length blue sleeves. The 1-0. Low with a slider. 2 balls and no strikes to Venero. Coming out from underneath the white jersey top for Zach. Another large frame reliever, 6'6", 230 pounds. 2-0 and a backdoor slider is called a strike. The count is 2-1. Now Venero armed with an arsenal that he fully understands and has good command of this year, and he has thrived. 2-1. And a swing and a miss at a fastball. Might have just caught a piece of it. And the count draws even at 2-2.
Especially with that sinker as well. A lot of ground balls on the infield this season.
You take a look at it. Last year, spent pretty much the whole year at Double-A. He had a 7.61 ERA. This year, he's brought that down, as we said, to a 3.62, and he's got 9 saves this year. By the way, 9 saves, that's more than any Shuckers pitcher had last season. Set down the 2-2. And that's bounced the other way, but wide of third and foul. Devaney will wheel around on it, but deposit the ball off. That draws our eye down towards the bullpen for the Trash Pandas, where yet another left-hander is getting warm.
What you think as well, Venero, just like a couple of pitchers on this bullpen and staff we've talked about, spent a little bit of time in AAA as well, so could have missed out on maybe 1 or 2.
2-2. And fastball's outside, 3-2. Well, and also, I think for a lot of guys, it was a real learning experience to go up there for what they all kind of knew would be a short stint. You think about Nick Bennett. He has been really a completely different pitcher since he came back from AAA. 3-2, and a swing and a miss, inside sinker at 94. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that is now 7 consecutive Ks by Shuckers pitching. 2 gone in the inning, and it brings up Bryce Teodosio. Remember, for Venero, he was stretched out a little bit there at AAA. He had an outing where he threw 3 innings.
Yeah.
First offer on the way, and a bunt is shown, and the pitch is high. Goes glancing off the glove of Diaz. For a ball, it's 1-0. Teodosio tonight, a single, a fly out to left, and a ground out to short. 5-4 Trash Pandas here in the top of the 8th inning, with the bags empty and 2 gone. The right-hander Venero, the 1-0 pitch. And that's a slider at the top of the zone for a strike towards the outer edge, and the count is 1-1. Looking ahead to the Shuckers' bottom of the 8th inning, 2-3-4, Monasterio, Whitley, and Lutz duo. The 1-1. And a slider front door zone. Belt high, inner edge for a strike. The count is 1-2 now. Venero looking to make it 8 straight Ks. The set and the 1-2 pitch. And a slider way outside. And a check swing by Teodosio, but he didn't offer at it. The count draws even at 2-2. Jordan Adams, the right fielder, waiting on deck. Venero sets belt high. And the right-hander, another 2-2. And that's hit in the air, right field. Whitley is tracking it. Stands at a spot 1 step to his left and hauls it in well in front of the 350 sign in straightaway right. So the strikeout streak comes to an end, but Zach Venero with a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning. 7.5 done. We go to the home half of the 8th. The Shuckers still trailing by a run at 5-4 on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network.
All right, fans.
Last of the 8th inning, the Biloxi Shuckers trailing the Rocket City Trash Pandas 5-4. Now the Trash Pandas will go to the second arm out of their bullpen. It's another lefty as they'll bring on Colton Ingram.
Indeed it is. Ingram's 38th appearance this season, 4-2 record, a 2.51, 7 saves on the year. Just 13 walks, struck out 57 and 46 and 2/3, a whip of .87.
So he will get 2-3-4 Monasterio, Whitley, and Lutz as the first offer is taken outside corner, 92 for a called strike. It is 0-1. Well, not including, including his strikeout because that was against the right-hander Coleman. This season, Monasterio hitting .400 against lefties at Double-A, and he lines this one. It's bobbled and caught by Ingram. He didn't catch it cleanly, but he kept it in the air and then brought it into his body for the outs. A laser right back up the middle, and Ingram was alert to it. So a line out to the pitcher. 1 gone, and Garrett Whitley the batter.
Oh, pitchers are athletes, too. You see the play down in Carolina between Kannapolis and the Mudcats.
Can't say that I did. First offer to Whitley. And that's taken top of the zone for a strike.
Oh, the Mudcats were unfortunately on the wrong side of things. It was a double play tagged out by the pitcher for the Kannapolis Cannonballers, the White Sox affiliate.
0-1, way inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It was like a pickle on the third base line, and then, so the pitcher was, I think, at home plate charging forward, then tags the guy out there, and then the next man was trying to advance up the third, as you should try to do, and he ended up getting tagged out going back to second by the pitcher.
1-1 is outside. 2 balls and a strike. So is that both putouts by the pitcher in that play?
It is, yeah. And so,
wow.
I think Major League Baseball tweeted it out, or put it on Instagram today. So
doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Set and the 2-1. And this is shot right back to the pitcher, Ingram. He fields another one. You have got to be kidding me. Yeah, go ahead and shrug it off. That is incredible. That's 2 absolute ropes hit right at Ingram, and he was able to catch both of them. Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. 1 okay. 2 in the same inning, back-to-back. Are you kidding me?
93 right back at him.
Oh.
91 out of the hand, 93 on a line drive back. I cannot think of any time I've ever written L1 in my scorebook twice in a game. First offer to Lutz, and he takes a breaking ball around the back foot for a ball, 1-0. That is spectacular.
See something in the ballpark.
And unfortunate, all at the same time for the Shuckers, trailing 5-4. That really feels like 2 singles taken away. Set on the 1-0. And a backdoor slider misses outside, 2-0. Would have been the third hit of the night for Whitley, but stolen away by Ingram. Left-handed hurler, originally a 37th round pick by the Tigers in 2019. 2-0 is high, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Lutz. Tristan so far tonight 0 for 3. He has grounded out, struck out, and flied out. Southpaw Ingram, the 3-0. Inner edge called strike. The count is 3-1 now to Lutz. The set and the 3-1. And Tristan takes top of the zone for a strike. So the count has run full now. Lutz taking the entire way. The set and the 3-2. Inside, just missed with the breaking ball. It's ball 4. So the third walk the Shuckers have worked tonight puts a man on with 2 gone and Cam Devaney the hitter.
No L1 again.
And with that, Mike Guerrero's going to come out, and I think that we're going to have a pinch runner. And so Terrence Dawson is going to come in and run in place of Lutz here in the 8th inning. This is very similar to what we saw the Shuckers do in the 9th inning when they scored 4 runs against the Mississippi Braves last week. In our series there, it was the 9th inning. Lutz had a 2 RBI single, and then Felix Valerio came in off the bench as a pinch runner. So Dawson with good speed at first, and a throw over that way, and the ball gets away just a little bit, but not far enough for Dawson, as Palmeiro pretty much had to climb over him to knock that down. So there is the 1 check on the runner by Ingram. Dawson retakes his 2.5-step lead over at first. Devaney waiting, and the first offer. And Cam lines it into center field, dropping fast. It'll fall down, and Dawson will stop at second. Teodosio was there to pick it up, but the Shuckers go station to station, and now Biloxi, the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first, down 5-4 here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. It felt like Cam Devaney had something to come through, and he does his job, advances the man. And now Thomas Dillard, who has 60 RBIs this year, an opportunity to add on 1 or 2 more to his ledger and help out Biloxi. Coming into tonight, 4th in the Southern League in RBIs for Dillard. And time is called as a ball gets loose. And it looks like that came from the Shuckers bullpen, where Cam Robinson is now starting to walk. So this might be a case where if the Shuckers take the lead, they'll go to Robinson. If they don't, they might go to Venero. First offer to Dillard. And Thomas checks his swing. Doesn't matter. Called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Well, Dillard grounded out on one pitch from Nick Jones. His last time up back in the 6th inning. So it didn't let us give you the line for Dillard against left-handed pitching this year. He's hit .266 against them before that, as this is taken low. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Most of his home runs have come against right-handed pitchers for Dillard. He has just 1 against lefties this year. Dawson at second, Devaney at first. The kick out, though, 1-1. And that's fouled off right side. And the count of ball and 2 strikes now to Dillard. Thomas so far today, a line out to deep left center field. Remember, that was where Teodosio jumped in front of Hunter Jr. at the left field wall to make the catch. Since then, a strikeout and that ground out. Devaney not being held on at first, so he's got a nice walking lead. And a disengagement by Ingram. Get on the right page and also wipe a little sweat off of his brow from using the inside of his jersey. Left-hander working from the third base side of the rubber by a little bit of a closed stance. And the 1-2. And Dillard fights off a high breaking ball. Shoots it over on the first base side. Just a protection for the top of the zone there for Dillard. 5-4 Trash Pandas over the Shuckers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nobody warming out in Rocket City's bullpen. Terrence Dawson at second as the pinch runner, and Cam Devaney at first. The set on the 1-2, and Dillard again spoils it foul, first base side. So reaches out and punches it into the netting over the Shuckers dugout. Another set by the southpaw Ingram. And another 1-2. And that one is hit high in the air. Deep left center field, but playable. Teodosio will come over and settle underneath it and off his right shoulder, make a slightly crouching one-handed grab. So the Shuckers put the tying run in scoring position, but they're unable to drive him in. As we head on to the top of the 9th inning, it's still Rocket City 5 and Biloxi 4. And Biloxi Shuckers baseball continues in a moment. Top of the 9th inning, Shuckers trailing the Trash Pandas by a run 5-4, and the Shuckers looking to keep this one right where it is will turn to one of their closers, the right-hander Cam Robinson.
Yeah, one of the best closers to it all in minor league baseball. No record of 1.86 ERA, making his 10th appearance.
As the first offer is low with the fastball.
And 9 2/3 innings this season, he's walked 4, struck out 8, a whip of just over 1 with Biloxi.
Right-hander rocks and fires the 1-0. And a fastball dots the inner edge for a strike. It's 1-1. So Zach Venero, 1 inning today. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Robinson fires a 1-1. And a slider bins in for a strike at the top of the zone. It's 1-2 now to Adams, who's 1 for 3 today with a ground out, a single, and a foul out at home. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He threw him a slider on the low outside edge. Robinson gets a chase. He gets a strikeout. 1 gone, and the lineup turns back over. And for the Shuckers bullpen, that's 10 in a row retired since they took over in the 6th inning. And 8 of 10 that they have struck out. So the lineup turns back over, and it's Levon Soto, the shortstop. Robinson brings home the first. And a fastball at the knees at 94 for a strike. It is 0-1. Well, it was the Trash Pandas that took a 2-0 lead back in the 3rd inning thanks to a 2-run homer by Logan O'Hoppe, as this is hit the opposite way and into left field. Scooping quickly is Dawson, who has stayed in the game to play left. And Soto with his first hit, and there it is, his 100th hit of the season with the Trash Pandas. So now it'll be Ohapi, and before he stands in, just an extra moment as Soto swaps out all of his batting armor for his running armor. Mostly just that sliding glove that he'll wear on his left hand. Doesn't even Velcro it as he takes a two-step lead. Now edges a little further, and Robinson deals the first. And this is fouled straight back over our heads and out of play. For a strike, it is 0-1.
Those are so popular now for many runners just because of how many fingers are broken. In the last 10 years or so, it's very popular.
I'd put 2 on.
Yeah. Why not? Protect the fingers.
Robinson, the 0-1. And this is hit the opposite way, out into right field. Whitley tracking it towards the corner. He reaches out. It's foul. Drops down into foul territory, and it's just a long strike 2 to Ohapi. Ohapi has homered twice tonight. It's the second multi-home run game of this season and the second of his career. Man on first is Soto after his one-out single against Robinson. Robinson, the minor league leader in saves, 22 in 25 chances, but pitching to try and keep the Shuckers down by just a run. 0-2, and that is tipped into the mid of Diaz. It's a strikeout. Through the slider on the inner edge. 2 gone in the inning, and Preston Palmero will be the hitter.
First baseman Preston Palmero.
Now 17 strikeouts now for the Shuckers tonight, tying a season high as a pitching staff.
Robinson needing just one more out to get the Shuckers to the bottom of the ninth, trailing by a run. And a spin and a throw and a check on the runner Soto as he had not been looked at yet.
I got 17 back at the end of May on May 29th against the Montgomery Biscuits.
Shuckers' record for strikeouts in a game in franchise history is 18. Set in the offer, and a rip and a miss at a cutting fastball. It's 0-1. They did it last season against Pensacola back on August 18th. Also did it against Mississippi on May 16th of that year. Had 18 strikeouts on August 13th against Mobile back in 2019. There goes the runner as this is lined foul. And boy, there have been a couple of times tonight the Trash Pandas have gotten a good jump, and a foul ball has spoiled a stolen base chance. It's 0-2. The other 18 strikeout game in Shuckers history came back on July 10th, 2016 against Pensacola. Don't think with elevated strikeout numbers across baseball it's any coincidence that 3 of them have come in the last 2 seasons. Set in the 0-2. That's low and in with an off speed. It's the count of ball and 2 strikes to Palmero. 2 for 3 tonight with a single, a double, a run scored, and 2 strikeouts. 5-4 Trash Pandas here in the top of the 9th inning. Runner on first, Soto, and 2 gone. And Robinson, the 1-2. Low and inside. Did not miss by very much with that pitch either. Just a little below the knees. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Palmero. Robinson shakes off a sign. Peeks the runner at first. And now the 2-2. And a curveball. He gets a swing and a miss. And they will appeal and say no swing. Wow. Oh, it looked like Palmero had gone through the zone. And the runner will advance to second on the wild pitch. Well, the Shuckers were all heading to the dugout. It looked like Palmero had gone through the zone on a curveball, as that was really the first one that Robinson had shown. But instead, it is ball 3, and the count has run full. Sonny DeShero waiting on deck. I'd like to see him either not bat or bat in the 10th. 3-2. That's lined the opposite way foul. So a close play. The Shuckers thought they had gotten him.
Yeah, And Soto was kind of just jogging into second base as well. Now it's a big runner at second base if Palmer is going to get a base hit here.
The set in the 3-2. And a swing and a miss, and there it is. 18 strikeouts for Shuckers pitching tonight. It ties a franchise record. Cam Robinson works around a one-out single and strikes out 3. And as we head on to the bottom of the ninth, Shuckers trailing by a run at 5-4. They're set to send Valerio, Holt, and Diaz to the plate in the bottom of the ninth. Come on back to find out how it all comes to an end on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Home half of the ninth inning, the Shuckers looking for their 12th walk-off win of the year. They trail it 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Felix Valerio leads it off. New hurler into the game is the lefty Eric Torres. And the first pitch, Valerio catches a piece of it, a foul ball for his strike. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Torres' 31st appearance this season, 2-2 record at a 1.63.
Left-hander, the 0-1. And that is above the letters, 1-1.
1.63 ERA, 5 holds, 13 saves, and 14 opportunities. Struck out 62 in 38 and 2/3. Opponents hitting 158 off of him.
1-1. And that is inside to Valerio, a big sweeping slider. Well, the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Valerio tonight, a double, a walk, and a strikeout. He scored a run as well. 2-1. And Felix fouls it straight back. The count draws even at 2-2.
Torres currently leads the Southern League with 13 saves, 3 more than Colton Hawk and Justin Maese from Pensacola and the Embrace.
2-2. And that is just down low and outside. And so the count has run full now to Valerio, a guy who converted each of his first 7 save chances. The set and the 3-2. And Valerio cues it foul. Didn't blow a save until June 23rd at Birmingham. Southpaw readies and another 3-2. And Valerio lifts it out into shallow right field. Adams was playing in a step, so he'll come in a few strides. Make the easy catch out in right. One gone, and Gabe Holt scheduled to hit for the Shuckers, and that's why we always say the phrase scheduled, because instead of Holt, the Shuckers will continue to go into their bench and use Jason Koka here. So Koka will hit here in the 9th inning for Biloxi to try and extend the game. Switch hitter bats right against the left-hander Torres. It was a right-handed starter tonight, the Trash Pandas, but they have gone all lefties since. First offer, and Koka takes outside for a ball. It is 1-0. Well, Yason this season hitting .230 in 49 games, 10 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 15 RBIs. The 1-0 takes inside. That skids away all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes to Koka. Center fielder Teodosio shaded towards right. And again, Adams is pretty shallow in right, as a 2-0 is popped up but foul on the first base side. The count now 2-1 to Koka. Third baseman Maitan is back of the bag, but still guarding the line, only about 4 paces off of it. Well, the shortstop Soto is where you would normally see a shortstop deep in the hole. 2-1. And that is lined to deep right field, towards the corner, towards the foul pole, and it is just off the wall, about 9 feet to the right of the foul pole. Oh, and Koka nearly wrapped one the opposite way to tie us up. But instead it is a long strike. And the count 2-2 now to Koka as he'll take a long walk back to the plate.
And that was so close. You think you're probably right. The ball went twice as much. It bounced a few feet up that wall in foul territory, and a few feet to the left of it. That might carry over in the berm for a home run.
But instead, it's 2-2 now. And Torres sets at the belt, and the pitch is bounced on the ground wide of Mike Guerrero and foul down towards the bullpen that houses the Trash Pandas. And so the count will stay at 2-2 to Coca.
Well, you got to say, Valeria and Coca both putting up really good fights here against Torres, fouling off a few tough pitches.
Left-hander sets, and the 2-2. Low. And the count has run full now. Shuckers trailing 5-4 here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Trash Pandas. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Biloxi. The 3-2. He's swung on and missed 91 at the bottom of the zone. And before Brent Diaz hits, 10 seconds for station identification on the Shuckers broadcast network. Welcome back to MGM Park. 2 gone with the bases empty in the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Shuckers trailing it 5-4 against the Trash Pandas. And so it all comes down to Brent Diaz, who singled his last time up. Kick on the first offer, and that is taken low and outside for a ball. It is 1-0. As we said, Diaz now on a 6-game hitting streak and an 8-game on-base streak with that single. If he could get on, he would be the tying run, 1-0. And he checks his swing, doesn't matter, called strike. Outer edge of the zone. And the count is 1-1 now to Diaz. Corey Ray waiting on deck. He has delivered a walk-off in his career with the Shuckers. 1-1. And Diaz skips it out to short. Soto scoops, throws to first, and that will bring the ball game to a close. Trash Pandas rally tonight. They come back and score 3 unanswered runs in the 4th and 5th, and that was it for the rest of the night. Final score in this one, Rocket City 5 and Biloxi 4. When we come back, it's the postgame show. Take it back through this one and get you all set for tomorrow night on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Well, welcome back to MGM Park. Shuckers fall in the opener by a final score of 5-4. Garrett Green with you here. Thomas Zinzarella with you as well. Let's run you back through this one very briefly. And it was the Trash Pandas who would take a lead in the 3rd inning. Nick Bennett, after he hit the first batter of the game, looked really good through the first 2 innings. He needed just 25 pitches to make it through the first 2 frames. But then he ran into trouble in the 3rd. A single by Brian Teodosio. And then Logan Ohapi, who again was just acquired in the Brandon Marsh trade last week, came away with his 2nd home run for the Trash Pandas. It was a 2-run shot, and Rocket City had a 2-0 lead. But Biloxi's offense came back in a big way in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Felix Valerio with a leadoff double, and then Corey Ray worked a walk. Andrew Monasterio had an RBI single, and then Garrett Whitley with a 3-run homer. It gave the Shuckers a 4-2 lead. Unfortunately, that would be the end of the scoring for the Shuckers on the night. The Trash Pandas got back into it in the top of the 4th, a solo home run by Torrey Hunter Jr. And then in the 5th, Logan Ohapi led off the inning with another home run. That tied the game at 4. But then Preston Palmero with a single. Sonny DeShero was hit by a pinch. And then an RBI single by Jeremiah Jackson gave the Trash Pandas the lead. Bennett retired the next 3 batters. And after that, from the time that the Trash Pandas went ahead until the end of the game, so for all intents and purposes, the final 5 innings that they hit, just 1 man reached base. The bullpen absolutely lights out tonight. For the Shuckers offensively, they would put the tying run at 2nd in the 6th inning, but then it was the left-hander Nick Jones who came in, got the 1 out he needed. Shuckers would get a single out of Diaz in the 7th. He would steal 2nd, but then Corey Ray lined out to left. And then Biloxi, man, you look back to that 8th inning, they hit 2 absolute bullets off of the left-hander Colton Ingram, but they hit him right at him, and Ingram was able to come away with a catch both times. Then it was a walk to Tristan Lutz. Terrence Dawson came in as a pinch runner, and Cam Devaney singled. But that was the best scoring chance the Shuckers had as they go in order in the 9th and ultimately fall tonight by a final score of 5-4. Well, when we come back, we'll take a look at scores from around the Southern League as well as the Brewers affiliated system and get you all set for tomorrow night's action. All of that as the postgame show rolls along next on the Biloxi Shuckers Broadcast Network. Well, welcome back to MGM Park. Shuckers fall tonight by a final score of 5-4. We weren't the only action in the Southern League, though, and for a look at your Southern League scores, we send you over to Thomas Zanzarella.
Well, thank you, Garrett. We got 2 games final. One is wrapping up right about now. We're going to start up in the Eastern time zone in Tennessee. The Smokies were hosting the Mississippi Braves, so the Embrace went from 6 games at home against us all the way to the opposite end of the map in terms of the Southern League. And the Smokies come out with a 4-1 win today. Zach Davis, RBI single in the bottom of the second, would score the first. Jonathan Perlaz, an RBI single as well, made it 2-0 Smokies in the second. They doubled that. A Chase Strump 2-run home run, his 18th of the season. And the only run for the Embrace coming on a Javier Valdez home run in the top of the 6th. The 4-1 final score up at Smokies Stadium. Chattanooga falls today in their opener against Montgomery 9-3. Kind of a weird scoreline as well because the Lookouts out-hit the Biscuits 10-9 today. But the Biscuits jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the first. Greg Jones RBI ground out, then a Kyle Benzardo error, or reaches on an error by shortstop Ellie De La Cruz. On the bases loaded walk to Diego Infante. So there was one unearned run in the contest coming in that first inning. Did not get much better from there. Although bottom of the second in Chattanooga, home run from Alex McGarry, and then a 4-run top of the third. Jones with a single, Slavis Basabe RBI double, and Cameron Meisner RBI double. It was 8-1 at that point in the top of the third. And the only bright spot again was Ellie De La Cruz, who did make the error earlier in the game, comes through with an RBI double. That would be the only runs they got today. 9-3 Montgomery winners. So again, we're looking at the standings, and the Shuckers losing today. First place, Biscuits now gaining a game on both the M-Braves and the Shuckers. So that's a 3-game lead on Mississippi, now a 4-game lead on Biloxi. And then the final game tonight, which is in the bottom of the 9th inning, Birmingham. This is kind of the wacky one today. It was the Rowdy Reed show, a home run at the top of the first inning. He then had a RBI double in the third, so it's 2-0 Birmingham. Pensacola tied it with 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Griffin Conine single. It was a 2-1 game, made it 2-2. And then Birmingham, a 2-run home run from Ian Dawkins in the top of the 9th inning. But the bases are loaded right now with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. It was a bases-loaded walk that scored the first run. And I've been kind of watching this game the last few minutes or so. So there is, again, 1 out. Bases loaded. J.D. Orr is the batter against Edgar Navarro in the bottom of the 9th inning in Pensacola. So can they walk it off against the Barons? Got to find out.
We will have to wait. And as always, if something goes final in that game, just interrupt and let us know. Otherwise, we'll check back in before we give final numbers. Thomas, thank you for the update on the Southern League, sir. All right, here are your scores from around the Brewers affiliated system today. No option to go high or low because AAA was rained out today. So they will make up their game coming up not tomorrow, but Thursday night in Nashville. Smart play by the Sounds. Go ahead and go doubleheader on Thursday. I wonder. Anyway, so they have not started their series against Gwinnett. Let's go ahead and we'll start, though, at High A with Wisconsin. And unfortunately, not a whole lot going right for the Timber Rattlers tonight. They've been held to just 4 hits. They're trailing South Bend 7-2 right now in the top of the 8th inning. The only RBIs in the game have come from Arbert Scipion, 1 for 2 with a triple and both runs driven in. Xavier Warren does have a hit in this evening's contest, but it is a single. Tough going for Israel Puello, who, remember, started off so great when he got promoted up to Wisconsin. He's hit a little bit of a bump here. 3 2/3 innings, 7 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He allowed 3 home runs in the game tonight. And the Mudcats, featuring some new names today, get a 7-5 win over Delmarva. The new names in their lineup include some of the guys who were just promoted up to Carolina, including first-round pick Eric Brown Jr., who was, remember, taken out of Coastal Carolina. All he does in his debut is go 2 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs and a pair of runs scored to go along with a walk. Bad news, Jay Savina did not homer tonight, but another new name in the order tonight, and that would be Robert Moore, who was the second-round pick out of Arkansas this year by the Milwaukee Brewers. He goes 1 for 5 with a run scored in his debut. Edward Perez also had his 17th double of the year, and again, the Mudcats come away with a 7-5 win over Delmarva today. And last but not least, we check in on the big league crew. They're currently in the top of the 7th inning at American Family Field, and they have a 5-2 lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. Andrew McCutchen with an RBI double in the first inning, and then Tyrone Taylor with an RBI single in the bottom of the second to drive in a run. Tampa Bay would tie it in the top of the third inning on a 2-run homer by Yandy Diaz, but then Andrew McCutchen with an RBI single in the bottom of the fifth, and Colton Wong with a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the 6th inning to put the Brewers up by a score of 5-2. Freddie Peralta today, 5 innings, 2 runs on 2 hits, no walks and 4 strikeouts, so very good out of Freddie. And now the game is in the hands of the bullpen for the Brewers, so we will find out how that one goes. All right, final numbers from our game, unless is there anything that's happened in that Pensacola game?
Just 2 strikes on J.D. Orr, just check.
All right, we will continue to wait. All right, final numbers today. For Rocket City, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 7 men on base. For Biloxi, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors.